It's race day. I'm awake for another day in another hotel room at another venue, and I find my glass of water to rehydrate. Chug, chug, chug. I feel the cool water running from my mouth down to the depth of my belly.
What I was saying the other day to my coach, I was like, oh, I'm starting to get nervous. And he's like, why? He's like, there's no pressure on you. Like, you've never won. Like it was just, all we're gonna do is show up, sort through the process, and then see what happens. I've pretty much shown up to nationals with like every type of mindset and emotions you can have now. And it's like, really, I don't have anything to lose. Of course I want to win, like for once, you know, this race, but again, if I don't, like, nothing's going to be different afterwards. And even nothing's really going to be different if I win either, like I'm just going to wear a different outfit. We just spent the last 2 months in Europe. It's been a lot of fun, a big adventure. I mean, we have a great setup there and it's been wonderful, but even with that great setup, it's been harder than I thought it would be still. And that length of time has been just like every weekend kind of, some have been really good and some have been just getting your head beat in. It's funny, I thought that I was like done learning for a little bit, but I'm not, like it's still coming. So no, I'm happy, and I think we all three of us took away a lot from this first part of the season being over there. And we all got to come home for a couple weeks and reset, and then we'll go back, and I'm looking forward to just trying to apply like what I've taken from those 2 months and then put them towards the rest of the season over there. So my tools that I use to help me be the best version of myself that I can be and the best athlete that I can be are my medicine, my meditation, affirmation, and visualization. I was super nervous to take the medicine. Well, with Kate, my therapist, medicine was never our first option. We always tried the tools first to like see if we could learn how to manage with the tools, and then medicine was like a last resort. So last December when we were at that last resort, we needed to try. Before I had the Jingle Cross episode, I always felt like medicine was the point where it meant like you failed. I didn't have a good understanding of what the medicine was and what it actually did. And then when I first started to take the medicine, it was amazing because it was like a flip of a switch, and I was like, wow, like this is how life is supposed to be, like this is amazing. And I stopped using my tools because it was so great, you know, like I was just like, I'm fine, like everything's fixed. And then this spring, I got to a point where I started to feel, not depressed, but just like, I started to feel some things come back, and that was a little bit of a wake-up call for me, and me needing to understand like again, the medicine isn't going to fix everything. You still need to use your tools. Meditating has always been in my practice since I started working with Kate. I've kind of gone in and out with it because I'll get to these points where I'll do it for a while super consistently, and then I'll be like, I'm fine, I don't need to do this anymore. And then I'll get out of the habit, and then I start to notice myself getting flustered more, like my mind's running more, or I just get stressed and like anxious all the time. So it is something that my therapist, Kate, has been like, no, we need to consistently do this. If you do it just suddenly when you like feel anxious at a race or something, that's not gonna give you any benefit. Like you need to be having already built your practice and stuff. So I've been really making that a point to be consistent, and I do know I feel better and like more calm. So we have affirmations, which at home and then also wherever I'm traveling, I stick a little post-it notes on the mirror, and I took like a week to think of some affirmations that are super important to me. I look at those in the morning when I wake up, I look at them throughout the day, and then again before I go to bed. And some of them are kind of starting to get like ingrained into my mind where I'll say them throughout the day just because I need to, or makes me feel better, or kind of thing like that. And they're just good reminders. Like, I know these things in my head, but sometimes when you get caught up in the moment of stuff, you just forget. I mean, there's like 3 key ones. I am fearless, I am a warrior, and I believe, so I know I can achieve.
It's race day. I'm excited for another opportunity to make the most of my talent and hard work. Venue time pre-race is busy. I try to relax my mind and body. I keep reminding myself to breathe big, deep breaths. I inhale, hold, and then exhale. And again, I inhale, hold, and exhale. My mind and body are relaxed and in a quiet place. Deep breathing feels easy and enjoyable. Again, I drop into my own little bubble as I head out to pre-ride the course. I'm extremely present during this time and don't pay any mind to others unless it's to watch a certain competitor ride a certain section. I take the course in as if I've never seen it before, with curiosity, confidence, calmness, and quietness. I head back to the trailer and I turn on my pre-race warm-up music. The music flows out of my headphones and into my body. My mind is calm and jamming while I listen to the music and focus on my warm-up. I'm organized. My body and mind know the drill. This is my time to mentally and physically prepare for the battle ahead. I don't need to give myself to anyone else during this time. I focus to preparing my mind and body. Before I get off the trainer, I take 3 deep breaths. Inhale, calm. Exhale, brave. Inhale, calm. Exhale, brave. Inhale, calm. Exhale, brave. I say to myself, I am a warrior. I stand tall and slowly walk to the trailer to change into my race gear. I'm nervous but ready. I tell myself it's healthy to be nervous. I remember that nervous energy is similar to excitement. I know that I am excited to race. Again, I stand tall and I smile as I look out at the race venue before settling onto my bike and pedaling to the start. As I spin up and down the start stretch with all of my competitors, I allow myself to appreciate them rather than let them intimidate me. I allow myself to see that they push me to be better. I am a warrior, and warriors are ready to fight. I hear my name be called up to the start grid.
For Cannondale, presented by cyclocrossworld.com, Kaitie Keough.
And I ride up. I hear the start line chatter, and again I breathe. Inhale, calm. Exhale, brave. I see the man clearing the start line tape and I smile. I see the TV cameras and the start lights. I look ahead and I believe. I know I can fight. I know that I can achieve. I remind myself that I owe it to myself to let myself shine. The gun goes off and I let my mind flow so that I can go.
I also have a visualization exercise that I wrote out this whole script, and I wrote it. It's very personalized to me, but then my sports psych is reading it, so she just recorded it for me, and it's super, super detailed, and I listen to it race day mornings. Before I go, I'll just like lay in bed and close my eyes, have my headphones in. It's your life, basically, that's being like read to you. I think visualization is meditation. It's just like a different discipline of it, I guess. I think it helps me to hear her voice instead of mine, just someone that's important to me reading it. And that's really helped me not be so like wired and anxious on race days, because the more I listen to it, the more I'm like, oh, this is familiar feeling, like it's not something that makes me all crazy. I think I've come a long way in just a couple months where even for the rest of the season, maybe I should write a new one and like re-record. It's just you evolve as a human being, and it's always like sometimes you need to adapt. It's kind of cool that I can see like, well, I'm listening to what you're saying, Kate, and I wrote this, but I don't really think it applies right now. Maybe it doesn't register as much as it did in Iowa, because I'm like, well, I improved on that and now I have this problem, so I should write about that instead. Those tools, I think, have just been something that I've needed to adopt in order to be the way that I know that I want to be, and that's like best for me. I feel funny that I'm 27 and I'm just now realizing that it's like this big of a deal or that important, but like the psychological state of sport is so important. Like it's even more so than the physical. And I don't know why it took me so long to realize that, but I think too with just like how our society is they just don't like recognize it or don't acknowledge it, or just like go out there and pedal as hard as you can, but there's so much more to it than that. It's been really helpful to have like the team that's around me know we're all on the same page with it. Everyone knows it now, that's like a breath of fresh air and a weight off your shoulders too, because it's like, well, you don't have to act like you're tough anymore. Like, we know you're tough. All right, thank you.
Shoes, Garmin, right here.
Thank you.
I got to get you need pedals still going back to California for your bike there? What do you want?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll get those, we'll get those after.
All right.
Are you going to the pit for them? Or
yes, I am.
Okay, yeah, we'll do it after.
Okay.
I might go with Sam and watch.
All right, do that.
Yeah.
Just do my check-in.
Yeah, I know, I'm just tired. I'm tired of always having to, like, I don't know how much more I can give to this. And I'm just tired of always having to try to pick myself up. And I just thought today was going to be the day I didn't have to do that. I feel like that's all I've been doing all season. Like, I don't know how much harder I can work and everything. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Because my head is like, there, I'm fine. And then once we start, it's like, I don't... I just don't know what, like, I don't know.
I know you're supposed to.
For sure I am, but it's not. With how much I've invested and like done since last February, it hasn't shown at all. Like, I haven't had one race that I've finished where I'm like, dang, like it's paying off, or like I can see it. And that's just why I'm like just tired of like, that's what I mean, I don't know how much more I can give. It's not that I don't want it, like I want it more than anything.
Maybe it's not the right training, right?
Right, but then like, I'm not supposed to, like how many, I don't know.
I get it. I know you're going to be frustrated. Just hang with Sam. I gotta go.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Yes, we will. You have my faith.
really it was just the perfect storm, I think, in terms of my physical health and not understanding that it was my physical health. I think it was a combination of my ferritin levels, possibly overtraining, my lack of communication, and my mental space being negatively affected because of all that. I feel like that's kind of how the first couple days back in Europe were. I was trying to keep my stuff together, like we can do this, I can finish the season, and then we'll reassess. So then we get to Namur. I do everything to get to the start line. I'm at the start line, I'm like, okay, I can do this. The gun goes off, and it's the same thing I've been feeling all season, is like my head's in an okay space, I'm ready to fight, like I'm there, and within the first minute, it's just like, I cannot do this, like I cannot go. That, I think, was the hardest decision I've ever had to make, because it's just, that was like, again, we committed to being over there for the whole season, and now I was not going to finish that, and I've never not finished anything I've started. It was weird, I felt so many emotions too coming home. Like the first couple days, the first week, I felt so much guilt, because like so many people committed to this moving to Europe thing and doing it, and like then I wasn't seeing it through. Then I felt stressed and anxious about it because I was like missing out. I felt like I was missing out. And then all of a sudden I just felt like calm and at peace and like happy, you know, just like a big weight off of my shoulders kind of thing. I was getting a bunch of blood tests done. He looked at my ferritin and was like, okay, this is red flag, like this is exactly why you've been feeling the way you have for gosh knows how long. So I made this huge commitment to go to Europe and base myself there, and no, May was today, and I'm sitting at home on my couch in Colorado. So definitely did not go according to plan, but I can pretty much get through saying all this without crying, so I am at peace with it. I'm learning that I'm always going to be learning. Everyone is always learning. No one ever has their stuff figured out. Yes, you'll have like really good years in your life where things feel like you have everything together, but I am not there right now. This would have been the 11th year that I would have done Worlds. I'm so hyper-focused on whatever I'm like fully invested in that it's hard for me to allow myself to turn off when I'm not training or racing. So it's just been like 24/7 for me for a very long time. For the past 10 years, I've kind of been in this hamster wheel, just like spinning around, and I've never stepped away from this since I started, you know, so this is very uncomfortable and foreign territory for me right now. I wasn't having fun anymore either, so. And I hate saying that because it's like such a cool thing, but again, I have to look at like that hamster wheel. All my work with Kate the past many years, I think has helped me just process this in a more mature way. It's helped me to come to peace with it quicker than I probably would have if I had never started working with her. The tools she's given me to help with my racing and my mental edge on the bike, I think I'm probably using more now in this situation than I've ever used with what they're technically supposed to be used for. So I haven't touched my bike since Namur. I've gone to a couple girls' nights with my little group of friends here, but when I was in the racing and training hamster wheel, I would not go to these things. Like I'd just be like, I'm too tired, I'm not going. And it's like there's such a great group of women that I'm like part of this community, so go. Yeah, mostly my only goal for every day is just to meditate twice every day for 20 minutes, and that's like my only training. I came across this food blog called Half Bake Harvest. Her name is Tegan Gerard. She has such good baking recipes and cooking recipes that I've been crazy in the kitchen. Like I used to hate cooking, and that's my outlet right now. And it's funny how you have an outlet and then it gets taken away from you, or you're not doing it at the moment, and then how you don't even try, but that you just somehow get like sucked into another one. This experience and everything that I'm going through right now, I'm learning the other side of it, and like the balance part that I don't have. Like, yeah, I have a balance in my life. I have my dog, I have my chickens, I have friends, I have, you know, other interests, but I don't think I tap into those as much as I should. And when I am tapped into them, my mind is elsewhere. My mind is still with cycling, and that's one of my things that I need to fix. The situation I'm in right now, it will really help me in that next chapter, because I'm like, I've never experienced the other side of it. I've never really allowed myself to. I've never said that out loud really, or like realized it, I guess. But like, I'm so hyper focused on like cycling and performance that I feel like other things in my life I haven't put them first, or like I haven't put them equal or prioritized them. I've been so like, I don't want to say obsessed, but so invested in my cycling and in myself that you have to be selfish to be a professional athlete, and I think that is partly what I'm struggling with right now, is I don't want to be that selfish right now. Can I still do this and not be so selfish? Can I still do this and have fun with it, but also find success how I define it? And I think I need to redefine my ideas of success as well. Because yeah, everyone wants to win and be on World Cup podiums and blah, blah, blah. But like, at the end of the day, when you go home, that's not the most important thing, and that's not what truly matters. And so when I step out of that environment and come home and like prioritize my family and how I treat them and everything, that's what's most important. Like, you plan for all the good stuff and like the easy stuff, and then when the stuff happens that makes you like reality check or blows you backwards and is like, wait a second. Like, when I sit and think on it, I'm just like, this feels like a big turning point or a big learning experience or something big that I never even had the idea in my head that something like this would happen. And when I come out from the other end of this, I'm going to look back and be like, yep, that was a big part of my life where that needed to happen to get to where I am right now. Like, however many years down the road that is. I don't know if that sounds too hippie, but like, whatever messages the universe is like trying to tell you. And I feel like I've been feeling these messages for a long time, but I haven't listened. So, and once I did listen, it was just like, I felt relief. These are not gonna, I'm reading through this, and I don't think these are gonna turn out how they said.
How come?
Well, so the thing that I just put in the oven, I think those are like that's the base of the bar, and then this that I made in the pot, you pour that over the bars, and then you put it in the freezer for 30 minutes, and then then it says melt the chocolate and coconut oil in the microwave until melted and smooth, let cool. Then cut the bars into 16 bars. Well, that, number one, it's not going to make 16 bars, and number two, it's not the width, or it's not, yeah, like the width is right, yeah, of a bar. So I think it's because I didn't follow the rules of what kind of pan I'm supposed to put it in.
Oh.
So maybe I'm supposed to, I think that I should get the correct pan, and then I should redo the base. This is a good lesson, a good reminder, and things don't always go according to plan. Or maybe just, no, maybe not, because I just didn't follow the directions, so.